Hello everybody, my name is Peter Set, and today I'm going to be telling you a story about my great-grandpa, Cecil McLeod. He was a military police officer back in World War II, so basically what he would do is patrol the military base, making sure nothing illegal was going on, making sure prisoners were getting to point A to point B, just basic police officer things. And you're probably thinking that my great-grandpa didn't go through any trauma, like he was staying on the base, he didn't have to go to combat, he didn't have to see people die, but that's far from the truth. My great-grandpa saw many of his friends pass away, coming back in caskets, lifeless bodies being shipped back, and that's just a traumatizing experience that nobody should have to go through. And I'm just forever grateful that my great-grandpa and many other soldiers went through the sacrifices and the grueling tasks they had to do just for our freedom today. And I just want to let them know that's something I'm never going to take for granted, and I'm forever grateful for what they did. Now, my great-grandpa has only ever shared one story with my Uncle Cecil, who he was very close with, and I'm very grateful my Uncle Cecil ended up telling me this story. This is the only story my great-grandpa's ever shared, so it means a lot that he even shared this once, counting that he went through all the trauma he did. So, without further ado, let's just get into the story. So the story really starts where my great-grandpa, like I said, was a military police officer stationed in Europe, England specifically, I believe, where, like I said, the basic patrolling things, making sure prisoners were getting from point A to point B safe, nothing illegal, none of that. But my great-grandpa, he went up and beyond to help out around the military base, doing anything he possibly could to help. One of the big things he did the most was helping on the mess hall, aka the kitchen. Now, the kitchen needed the most help, mainly because it was the messiest place. Military personnel just made it a madhouse, never clean up behind themselves, just made a mess of the place. But the cooks were running low, and my great-grandpa would help cook in the back if it was ever needed. Now, he's doing things he didn't even need to do, but the kindness out of his heart, he did it anyways. Now, my great-grandpa ended up facing a person, the chef, who we'll call him, who was a very grumpy guy. He would never talk ever. He always looked mad, and the only time he would ever talk, he ended up just yelling at people, telling them they're doing something wrong or not to do something in general. So he didn't seem like such a nice person, but he ended up helping out regardless. But the real story begins where one day my great-grandpa was transporting a German soldier from point A to point B, when all of a sudden the German soldier got free from his chains and ended up attacking my great-grandpa. They got in a scuffle, they were in a little chokehold. All of a sudden, the prisoner got the best of my great-grandpa, and he took his billy stick, which is a baton, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I'll put an image on the screen of what it is. But the prisoner got my grandpa's billy stick and basically just ended up beating him relentlessly with it. Over and over again, my great-grandpa would just get hit by the stick, and at some point, he just stopped fighting it, and he was accepting his fate, saying, oh, this is the end of the line. This is how I'm going to go out. And he thought he made the best sacrifice he possibly could, and he just gave up. He just sat there, closed his eyes, and he was just going to let it happen until all of a sudden he just hears a loud metal clang, and he's just shocked by the whole thing. He doesn't know what happened, and then he opens his eyes and he sees the German prisoner's body just lifelessly fall onto him. And then he looks up and he sees the chef, the same chef that was grumpy, would never help anybody else, always mad, who's just looking down at him, and his only words that he ever said to him were, don't say I didn't do anything to help you. And he just walked away. My great-grandpa just kind of sat there, just shocked by the whole situation. He got the medical help he needed, but the trauma from the experience and the other trauma that he faced through everything else is just crazy to even think about. And I'm very shocked that he had to experience that, but I'm happy that he was okay in the situation, and I'm happy he did get to share the story that he shared and I shared with you today. And I just want to share my gratitude. Just thank you to any soldier, veteran, anybody who's serving today or served in the past. Rest in peace to the ones who are lost. Thank you for everything you did for us. You made our country and our world the way it is today, and without your sacrifice, we wouldn't be where we're at. So once again, I'm very grateful for whatever you did for us, and thank you for your service, lest we forget.